It's a historic theater in Blue Island, recently restored to welcome moviegoers, concert attendees, and even just families looking for some fun. Marissa Perlman live at the Lyric Theater, checking out this reimagined space. Hey, Marissa.
Hey, good morning to you. Yeah, if you come down here to 129th and Western, you cannot miss the historic Lyric Theater here up in lights. It's really the center of Blue Island right now, and just went under, I should say, a massive makeover. Pat here, live events manager,
yes.
Been with us all morning long. Pat, let's talk about the story about how we got here. We talked a little bit earlier in the morning about this big makeover, really, and behind it is this one family that took this undertaking to bring it back to life.
Yep. So the Goretto family, led by the big cheese, Larry Goretto, his mother, Janet Fisher, was a ticket taker here at the Lyric in 1948.
Wow.
Met her husband, Angelo Goretto, and they got married. They had 6 children, Larry being the oldest. Larry just celebrated his 70th birthday on October 4th. So there was a history here.
Yeah.
And so the Lyric closed as a movie theater in the late 80s. A couple businesses tried to make a go of it in the 90s, and then it sat dormant for 25 years until Larry bought the building along with the Cantello family and the Melvin family. And Amanda Melvin, Larry's daughter, kind of proud of, you know, grandma's, and this was her place she used to work at. She met, you know, grandpa here. So Larry said, you know what, I'm going to buy it.
That's such
so
a legacy.
He bought it.
Wow. Yeah. And now it is what we see. Let's take a look inside. Yep. We'll bring you with us because really the marquee of it all is so cool to see, and you can really, we wanted to show you how of a mainstay it is really on the main street of Western, but you come inside and you kind of have a lot of the classic touches.
Yeah.
Pat, tell us about what we're looking at.
Yeah, so, you know, from the color schemes to every inch of this place, you know, Amanda and Pat Melvin, Larry's daughter and son-in-law, chose everything. So, and when you step inside the theater, from the oversized booths to the bar to everything they chose, as Larry likes to say, he just wrote the check. But, you know, it's got that old school. I grew up in Blue Island. I was at the Lyric as a kid watching movies. And so everything's new, but it still has that touch of back in the 80s, kind of 70s situation. And, you know, we offer candy, slice of Beggar's Pizza, gourmet popcorn for all our shows, movies, live events, and such. So.
And Beggar's Pizza, of course, such a huge part of Blue Island culture, if you will, and that's the same family.
That's what all started. That's what started everything. Back in 1976, Larry's father, Angelo, opened up Beggar's Pizza. Larry and his brother Peter kind of were the support group there, and they ran things on 127th and Western. That's the flagship. It's still there. And Larry's father passed away in 1980, and him and his brother Peter kind of built this empire, as you would say. And there's 26 locations now, even in Indiana. There's 2 in Blue Island. They bought the bakery next door, Iverson's, renovating that was going to close. They opened up a dispensary 3 blocks away, B, from an old building, so they renovated that. They have their commissary, which makes all their ingredients for their pizzas and pastas and, you know, Italian beef, and actually makes the donuts for the pop-up Iversons we have in here too. So they have really revitalized Blue Island, the uptown area here. It's just tremendous. His faith. You know what he says to me? I go, why are you doing all this? He goes, it's my civic duty. Without Blue Island, I would have nothing.
Wow.
So that's pretty tremendous. That's the kind of guy he is, just a very generous, humble guy.
Without Blue Island, I would have nothing. I love that. All right, Pat, well, thank you so much for sharing some of the story behind this incredible space. A lot to see and do here, so we're going to get into that in our next hour.
After 2 decades of just dust, the historic theater in Blue Island is celebrating its rebirth. Now the Lyric Theater is back open for movies, concerts, and even just some family fun events as well. Marissa Perlman live at the Lyric, getting a bite of what the theater has to offer. It's been so cool to see some of the transformations there.
So much history that comes into the story of this historic theater and how it has been rebuilt. I'm here with Pat, who's the live events manager, who's been joining us all morning long and really sharing that incredible history, the family story behind it. And Pat, we've been talking about how the pizza that you serve here is really a central character in that story of rebuilding. Tell me about that.
Yes, as the owner, Larry Goretto, the big cheese, would say, without Beggar's Pizza, there would be no Lyric Theater, because this started in 1970. His father Angelo, and Larry and his brother Peter kind of took it to the next level. Now there's 26 locations, and you know, as you guys are going to find out after this segment, you're going to see how good this pizza is. And the beauty of having it at the Lyric Theater is you could pre-order your own pizza from Beggars on our website, or you could have slices. We offer pepperoni, sausage, and cheese slices for any event here. So it is a central part here, and like Larry said, if you've had a Beggar's Pizza, you own a part of the Lyric Theater.
Oh,
so
I love that.
It's a great story.
A South Side establishment in itself, right?
Yes, and there's 2 locations in Blue Island. We have one on Kedzie, 127th in Kedzie, and 127th in Western is the flagship. I have to mention my mother was one of the first pizza makers at Beggars when it opened, so it's close to my heart as well. And speaking of when you could pre-order these for a show, we have some great shows coming up. Right now we have It's a Wonderful Life on, so we're going to have some holiday classics, White Christmas, It's a Wonderful Life, Elf, Home Alone. And we have some great live event shows coming up in the near future. October 20th, we welcome Allie Colleen, an emerging country star who has deep country roots. She was here in January. A week after she's here on October 20th, she goes on tour with Jelly Roll. So she is going to get huge.
Wow.
She's going to be a big timer. And we welcome back at Christmas time Frank D'Ambrosio, one of the longest running Phantoms and Phantom of the Opera. He was here in February. He's coming back. He's doing a Christmas in New York show, and his voice, he's an opera guy, worldly renowned. We are honored to have him back. It's going to be a tremendous show. That's on December 8th. And you can find out about all our shows, upcoming shows, at lyrictheater.com.
Wow, so much to see and do here. I love the classic movies that you can just kind of cozy up into one of the booths here. The renovation that we've been seeing all morning long is really amazing. So, Pat, I want to thank you and the team for really giving us this history of this place. And again, as you heard Pat say, check out everything at lyrictheater.com. They've got all the shows and concerts and things you can do with the family. For now, we'll send it back to you guys.
All right, Marissa, thanks for giving us an inside look there all morning. We appreciate it.